Retirement is expensive, apparently. And this is how much you need to have saved for it. And again, every time I'm about ready to do a video, he starts yapping. There's no one walking the neighborhood. Oh, yeah, there he is. All right. I want to see something funny. Look at it. Finn, look at that big old butt. Finny's got a big old butt. Finny's got a big old butt. Oh, yeah. Finny's got a big old butt. Let me close this shade real quick. All right, hold on. We'll be back, my friends. All right. We got an ambulance right across the street. That's okay. All right. So let's check this out here. Here's how much you really need to save for it. All right. So I'm looking. I saw this guy. Isn't the guy Dan Ariely? And that I think that's a guy. It's a weird looking dude, man. Got a little scar right there. If memory serves, there's a controversy between old Dan. Like I follow him on LinkedIn. I'm hardly ever on LinkedIn anymore, but there's a controversy. I can't remember what it was. I haven't read this article. Someone has sent this to me, so we're gonna look at it ourselves. All right. Retiring doesn't mean you'll spend less money, says Sam Riga and Robert Exley. In fact, yeah, Dan, there he is. In fact, people often underestimate how much their ideal retirement will cost, according to Dan Ariely, who's at Duke, just like I said. Now, I haven't read this article, so we're going to read it together, and hopefully we're going to take it apart, piece by piece. There's an old Slayer song, Piece by Piece, for those of you guys who like loud and proud music, man. I haven't listened to that song for a while. Hold on, I pause. It helps if you spell peace the right way. It's Piece. I had Peace in mind. Think about Megadeth, Peace sells, but who's buying? So let me hold. Slayer's a clown show, but I enjoyed them very much when I was young, and I actually still do. Oh boy. All right. So being tied to an office all day can make it hard to spend money. In retirement, the new hobbies and activities can pick up your leisure time and come with a price. If you're in retirement, every day is like the weekend, he says. You want to do things. Very few people just want to go fish and walk in the woods. I don't want to go fish. I'm going to go walk in the woods and plant my garden and hang out with my puppies here, man. And snuggle with my wife, if you know what I'm saying. Ooh. See if I'm not quite sure that feels mutual. The best-selling author conducted a study that found most people expect they need to replace about 75% of their salary in retirement. Researchers then calculate how much the response would need based on their planned lifestyle. And their numbers are way off. Oh, that's it? That's it? I'm not going to show the video. What, there's no more article here? Oh, they're not going to give us... we got to watch the... Okay, read more, I hope. What's that about, man? All right, hold on a second. All right, so I just watched the video, and I wish I could get that 3 minutes back of my time. I'm not here to bash the guy. I just... What? You got to tire... You got to be like Ulysses to tie yourself to the mast of your boat, so that way when the sirens call, you don't jump in and get killed. Basically saying, so you delay gratification. All right. So his premise is two things: is that we're basing on our pre-retirement income. Again, why do we keep doing this, man? For the 100,000th time, I got not one, not two, not three, but 4 children. Well, one's an adult, like 2 are adult children, but still, I got 4 kids. I live in a big house, nice house, in North Fulton County, Georgia. All right. We got college. We got 3 girls who use heating utensils or whatever the thing's called to heat their hair. All right. Why do I say that? Because the amount of electricity on anything that's used to dry your hair is a hell of a lot more than what me and my sons do, which is we take our hand and go like this, done and done. What happens when 2 of my daughters are out of the house? We don't use that same electricity for that simple example. We don't use the same amount of electricity for the rooms that they're in. We don't use the same cars. We don't use the same car payments, and i.e. through auto insurance, because it'll be off the payroll. We won't have the same size house, presumably. I don't know. But at some point, the mortgage will be paid. At some point, the homeowner's insurance will lower. At some point, the property taxes will be lower. At some point, the consumption on food will be lower. At some point, the auto insurance will be lower. At some point, you get this. You get where I'm going there. So to tie myself, like I went to the Hawks game last night. I think it was $145 for each ticket for me and my boy Liam. Probably spent $300 down there when all said and done. Actually, the Hawks, they do a real good job keeping the snacks cheap, very cheap actually. I was stunned. I was like, whoa, this is fantastic. So the kudos to the owner of the Hawks. The tickets weren't cheap, but you can get cheaper tickets. But I'm 51, man. I've never spent much money. So with my kids, we spend a little bit of money. Sue me. All right, the point being is we like going to the Hawks game. We don't go that often. And that did cost money for sure. That will probably continue in retirement, 100%. But why would I defer that until later? Why would I defer that cost? Because it ain't a cheap cost to go to the Hawks game. Why would I defer that until I have more, when I more reasonably can afford it? I.e., I don't have a mortgage. That doesn't make any sense, man. This is where Kotlikoff, my man Larry Kotlikoff, and Scott Burns in their book Spend to the End, they talk about consumption smoothing, and it's just such a once you see this, you can't unsee it. So Dan Ariely from Duke is saying you should basically tie yourself to the mast so you don't spend. But I want to spend because I want to spend good quality time with my kids while I have the time with them. Dan, I don't. My pre-retirement income is meaningless to my post. They're two completely different things. Two completely different things. My post-retirement needs are completely different from my pre-retirement needs. That's the thing that drives me crazy. Look, we got tons of evidence on it. Let me show you the other book I talked about a million times. So many videos, I got to remember that most people don't see them all, if that many of them. So I always got to refer back to other things I've done. I've done this on this book probably a dozen times. The Essential Retirement Guide by Frederick Vitesse, right there, or Vitesse. I don't even know how you pronounce his name. He's French, or he's Canadian. Those crazy Canucks. Anyway, the point being is that why are you looking at your pre-retirement income and basing your post-retirement lifestyle off that? It makes no sense. Let me show you something. If you retire, you doggone better read this book. And I'll put a link in the show notes. And if you buy it through my link on Amazon, I get paid that sweet, sweet 4% commission. So does it cost $20 for hardcover? $20, that's 80 cents I get paid. So make me money, man. Buy the book. Buy the book. All right. So here's I just literally opened it up to the first page and I found this right here that I highlighted. So I got highlights all through this book. Literally, you will too. I don't even know what I just said. Okay, that'd be a good thing to read. And we'll come back and read that one too, maybe. All right. All right, gotcha. Oh, that's interesting. I highlighted this. It was interesting. While older test subjects scored quite poorly by any absolute or relative measure, their confidence in their financial abilities was actually higher than that of their younger counterparts. People in their 80s were generally more confident than those in their 60s, even though the older group barely scored half as high on some kind of test they did. That's pretty interesting. My point, I'm just looking at what I highlighted. I have no context to this. In terms of where I left off, I just said that was interesting. My point, rather, is that we should get our affairs in order as much as possible while we are still young enough to be confident of our abilities and our judgment. If we take the right steps in our 60s, we can operate more or less on autopilot after the age of 75. You may still be eminently competent in your 70s, or perhaps not. The trouble is that you may not know for sure. Man, 100%. Good stuff, man. That is good stuff. Oh yeah, right there. Oh man, good. It's such a great book. I'm just going through some of the highlights. The cost of a deferred annuity will be considerably lower than an immediate pension because it'll be discounted for both interest and survivorship. Oh, just such freaking great stuff in this book. All right, let's see here. Just as I had expressed, again, this is another page is open. I saw this is exactly what I want to read. Just as I had expressed skepticism about the 70% retirement income target, my own personal experience led me to doubt that the elderly continued to spend as much money beyond a certain age. My own parents did not buy any new durable goods like furniture or cars in the last 10 years, and it was not for lack of money. There is no shortage of anecdotal experience of people in their 80s who no longer drive, rarely go to restaurants, or take few trips, if any, outside the city. Their doctor visits and prescription drugs are paid for the most part, So the only visible spending on health-related items are not covered by Medicare. Provided they remain fit enough to live independently, it is hard to see what else they could be spending their money on. 100%. I mentioned the 1992 study of 40,000 Germans that found their households did draw down their assets somewhat in their 60s, but then, contrary to all expectations, assets started rising again after they hit 70. This is not the only study. Researchers in various countries have made great strides in identifying. I was eating some almonds, so if a piece of almond came out, sorry. Researchers in various countries have made great strides in identifying just how our consumption patterns evolved over the course of retirement. Overwhelmingly, the results of the research have revealed that consumption in our retirement years is far from steady at all. The higher amount spent on healthcare as we age is more than offset by the reductions in spending in many other areas. Such a good book. Anyway, all this stuff drives me up the wall because it's all based on, I'm not saying it's based on nonsense, but the evidence is overwhelming against what Dan is saying and against that. You just see with your own eyes. Anyway, all right. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.